And to finish off the buy, hold, sell for round 4, it is the guns. We've done the cheapies, we've done the mid-range. I hope you enjoyed those style of videos. You get to go in short and sharp. And now we get to discuss the big dogs, the guys that we are either trying to get in. Payne, Haas, Campbell, Hopgood, these types of guys would be my preference of the players that I think you should trade in. Can you get all of them? Do you trade guns for them? That's going to be the big question of this video. Payne Haas at 949. The big question, the big worry if you're a non-owner and you're going to stay away from it is what part of these stats are going to change? This second game here, he had a couple less tackle breaks, but he had more offloads. So he went in looking to offload a little bit more or would get caught in tackles more, whereas the other games there, he was breaking more tackles, less offloads usually. Find your front, get going. You know, those type of stats there, tackle breaks and offloads, they seem to be, they always were part of his base, but how many tackle breaks? Sometimes he would have the one, sometimes he would have 2 or 3, but it seems like it should be the way he's running and where he's running directionally, and at which person in the opposition seems to be going at some of the lesser quality defenders, and he's owned by 93% of the top 5,000, which makes sense. Usually early on, if you've got the best player, you should continue to do well. These meters gained shouldn't fall below 150, in my opinion. And then the odd attacking stat will come. But these base stats here, tackles, meters gained with tackle breaks and offloads, that should sit somewhere near the 70 mark on a regular basis, the way that he's playing right now. He hardly misses a tackle. He hardly has an error. He's that type of player. The odd penalty, that's fine. If there's attacking stats involved, then he can get closer to the 80 and above. Minutes this week, I don't expect him to go for the 71. I don't expect it to be super close to this game. And if it's not, then somewhere in the mid-50s minutes should be pretty stock standard. And I'm personally predicting about a 70 this week, which as a trade-in is a little bit slightly annoying when he's had games here where he's gone larger than that, 81, 85, 106. But you're buying him for the entire season, and if he can produce scores like this, he will end up over $1 million, and at least I've got a 50k or somewhat discount from that if I am buying him. So Payne Haas, incredible. We've been spoken about plenty this week. Let's work out how we get him. Is Nathan Cleary the answer? I personally don't think so. With a break even of 101, let's just say he hits 60 next week. He goes down 40 odd K. He's at 730 now and priced at 55, 54, 55. If he gets 60 again, maybe he stabilizes and hangs around the same, up or down a few $1,000 if something like that. If he goes 60 again, remember now he's priced at about 54, 55, he will start going up in price again. And the lowest he should get to, if he scores 60s, is about 730, somewhere there. So in that scenario, you're looking at maybe getting a little bit of a discount on someone that has hundreds in him. He has the most hundreds ever in NRL Fantasy. He got 112 last year, 100 in 2023, 106, 101. He has lots of 90s. He had lots of 80s in there. 2021, he crushed it as well. He had like 5 of them or something. Something crazy. So that's the break even, around the 100 mark. Longer term, you know that he's going to have 70s. He's going to have really good scores. Kick meters for him this year, I think, will be up as well. He doesn't have Luai with him. He doesn't have a noted kicker. So you get that up, and tackle numbers. He's going to have the games there with 3 and 4 misses. It's just what he does. He's going to run the footy. He will have the odd try. He'll have try assists, and he'll go nuts in some games. So if you are selling him now, don't expect the price drop to be that dramatic. And are you going to leave him out of your side longer term? Or do you sell him now to get who you want? JC, Haas, all these types of players that are doing well right now and are playing this week and don't have high break even. I get it. But when he does drop that 50k, are you trying to get him back in for another guy that, do you have cash in the bank eventually by that point? Is it someone that is injured around the 700k or so mark and you can bring them back in? Are you leaving it to chance, or do you have a clear plan to potentially getting back? Or are you happy just to leave him for the foreseeable future, given he'll miss a bunch of games over Origin and that period of time? So yes, there's talk. There's moments where you could see he may struggle to get into that sort of 70s range. I understand that. He has been getting try assists still, and it's got 56 and 63. But those kick meters that haven't been dramatic yet. He hasn't had any offloads, which he seems to get. No tries yet. And yeah, even tackle breaks, 1 and 5 isn't anything crazy. And looked like he was going to get plenty of kick meters in that game the other day and look really solid in that 7 minutes. So that's Cleary. I personally don't think he's a sell, but I understand some will. And do you have a plan to get him back, or are you going to leave him out? Connor Watson. The worry was selling Connor. If you're looking to go from him to Payne Haas or to JC or something like that, is that yes, he's priced at 57. His break even is not very far away from that. So you're selling him after that 90 with that terrific game, 65 and 90, incredible tackles. He was on par for somewhere near another sort of 60. You'd imagine 55 before he moves to 13. The only worry I think with him is that now that the troops are coming back, does he spend a little less time on the field than 80? I personally think if Radley's going to be at 13, I would have Connor Watson playing the longer minutes than Radley if I was coach. Just the type of player and how important he can be, versatility across the field as well. But I think if he continues at 80 minutes and he plays a little bit of a hybrid role like he has, then he should be a 60 guy. And priced at 55 with the duel, and he's the best hooker in the game right now, that's where it's hard to sell him. All three guys that a lot of people have, including myself, outside of Lucas, it's Cleary, Watson, and Ponga that people do have that are out this week. All of them aren't really sells, but it's hard to sell someone that if he's going to play close to 80 minutes in the middle, whether it's at hooker or 13, we know that he's about a 60 guy. So hard to sell someone like that. The only guy in the position that's absolutely crushing right now, outside of Starling at a cheaper price, but we know that he's not an 80-minute guy, and that train could end at any point with Ricky. So Connor Watson, a tough sell if you are, definitely. Kalyn Ponga, he's a wing fullback, all right? He's a fullback. So you saw on the weekend, 29. If the team struggles a little bit, goals are going to be a tad down. They actually have had pretty easy games. Tigers, Dolphins, Titans. The bye comes, and then you've got Doggies, Tigers, Cronulla. And it's still kind of okay until the first major bye where they play Penrith. 62 and 82. Still hasn't scored a try yet. He just hates scoring tries, apparently. Kicking in general play, which didn't happen as much last week, but they had lots of errors, and he's had 9 errors across three games as well. Team's not playing incredible. He's having his moments. And for him to get 82 in that second one with a bunch of different things happening shows that he can do that on a whim, which is what we saw with Watson as well. He had a really good game with 2 tries. We can see that with Cleary. So I do think that out of the 3, Ponga might be the guy to sell just because of the ups and downs. You can see here 30s last year. He had these couple of 70s in a row, went back to 30s, 40s, 50s, and then crushed it in the back end of the year as well with 70s up to an 81. Getting on the right run with Ponga is the way it goes. If you hold for the season, you get the ups and downs and you get that 50-odd, 60 average. He's priced at 56 right now. If he's the guy that can get you to Haas, I understand it. I still think that he can come out against the Dogs without Burton and Kickow, against the Tigers, and have 2 really good games there. Unsure how it's going to go against teams like Cronulla. The Knights have to improve, I think, and they can, and they probably will, but how quickly? So that's my thinking around it. He's close to the best wing fullback, but you've got Campbell now that probably takes that mantle. You have Latrell that's coming back, guys like Teddy and the like, whereas Watson's the clear best hooker, and Cleary is the clear best half outside of Godfrey's, and potentially Nicho Hynes there as well. So Ponga, a really fun one to hold, not owned by everyone, but a very high ownership as well. And just based on the stats, actually, Cleary's been sold dramatically, over 12% sold. Nathan is, and people really take big stock into this break even. Mitch Barnett, I think it's a very clear one this week. If you want to go to another gun, if you want to upgrade to Campbell, these types of guys, then Barnett could be the play. Just not getting the minutes and missed tackles on the weekend. Got good run meters, but missed tackles. He may benefit a little bit minutes-wise from this Dylan Walker move, but do you want to stick around and find out? I'm not sure, because I think guys like Hopgood, guys like Campbell are really, really good options. So Campbell went 46, not 42, into the 81, and good tackle numbers. Kicking meters are up massive. He's going to run the footy. He's going to have the odd attacking stats. So last week he had the try assist and the try, and that was awesome. He'll have the odd offload like he did. He has the last 2 weeks, both 3 offloads to ground. Come on, JC, sort that out. And then got a turnover tackle as well last week. So he, I think, is a 60-point guy priced at 54 and can cover the tough wing fullback and even half position right now. So it's pretty simple with Campbell. Nothing much has changed apart from the kicking meters probably going up even further than I may have thought last week. It was closer to what I thought it would be in round 1, or for them, round 1. And they played poor. And then now they've got a pretty nice run coming up where they should be in games. There should be some points scored, and he should continue to do well. So Campbell, a great pick this week. Jermaine Hopgood at 727, right up there in my thoughts. Some tough games first up, and then really got into his work last game with tackles, with some offloads again. And yeah, lower errors, still had a turnover tackle. Run meters near 100. He should be a 55 to 65 type of guy on a regular basis. I can't see him going close to that 47 too much. And you see that missed tackle number of 5 was very, very high compared to what he was last year in 24. He had a bunch in 23 and he fixed it up a bit. Expected to go back to that 2024 type numbers, and some of those negative stats to go down as Eels improve slightly. And they don't have a crazy draw coming up either. He probably makes Origin though, so you do miss this round 8 clash, and then potentially 12, 15, 18, but he has buys in 2 of those big ones. So long term, he's sweet. A really good purchase. Some people are looking at Reynolds. What you see with Reynolds though, he's gone up a lot, 90k now almost, and he has these stretches of games where he dominates. You see there 68, 81, people buy him. He goes dud, 27, 41. 2023, he went bang, 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 60, 59, 70, and then goes 32, 53, 47. So he can easily have the low games. He's had a try, lots of goals, 5 try assists so far, a line break, 29 tackles for 0 misses last week. Just hardly happens for him. Kick meters are pretty normal, hardly running the footy. So 40-20 last week as well, 2 weeks ago. Things will be good for him at times, then they might slow down a little bit. And he does seem to get injured when you bring him in. So it's a worry. Priced up near guys like Nicho Hynes, I'd pick them every day of the week. Garrick is 648 now. He's priced at 48, and I do expect him to average somewhere near the 50 mark for the year. So I think you're paying for what you're getting right now, and he does come up against Parramatta this week for sure, but then Melbourne, Cronulla, Dragons, Penrith, then the bye, then Cronulla again. So he shouldn't absolutely dominate across that period. We may get him cheaper. If he kind of goes 50 this week and then has a bit of a 30 odd, something like that, then he'll probably be fun to buy come that Cowboys game if you don't own. That's what I'm looking at personally, and you guys probably should as well. Bo Fermor, he was struggling a little bit last week. 61 he was on coming into, 61 he ended up with, but he was going pretty slow. Low tackle numbers, low meters gained, a few misses and a penalty before he scored that try. But it seems to me that he's involved in a lot of their attack at some point, because he's just involved, and he wants to get involved and get amongst it and do some good things. So Bo Fermor, 708k, you're buying him for the edge and center duel. If you need that in your side, that's awesome. Go for it. If you're not too fussed on that, then maybe you do go for, you could go for guys like Eli Katoa. You could go for Hopgood and these other players there that I've mentioned. I mentioned Hynes as someone you should go for over like Reynolds, and it is almost 90k more expensive, 85k there, but he's building into the season nicely. They've got a great team. His meters gained are really good, around the 100 mark. Kick meters are up and down, but he was dealing with a cork last week. Picked up a try and a try assist. Tackle numbers are great again, not as high. They're running at him less, surprisingly, but he's getting offloads. He picked up 3 last week, which was good. He's got the goals. Not playing Panthers for a while now, ever again this season, and expect more games in the 60s and 70s than in the under 60 range. And priced at 59, probably on the upside and very low ownership. So a great point of difference guy that can hit you hundreds, 124 last year. Similar situation with Haas right now is what it was with Nicho Hynes after that sort of 89, and definitely after the 124, was that it was must-have territory. And then he went 72, 70, and 17 with the injury. So hopefully that's not the case with Payne Haas. But yeah, it shows these types of guys can be really dominant for you and your team. Tedesco, 676. He has the 50 price point, which is, I don't know, is it too high? I don't know. 28 in round 1 against Broncos, 58 against Panthers, 54 against the Wars. So he's working hard. He's getting his tackle breaks as per the norm. He has so many seasons now under his belt that have 50 plus seasons. He's got Titans, Rabbitohs. Then it gets a little bit harder with Broncos and Penrith. But if you do want to spend up some money on wing fullback, do you go for Walsh? Do you go for Teddy? I think you spend up on the Teddy pick. He has the consistent 50 plus scores on a regular basis and has gone down 60k from his starting price. And then the point of difference guy that we mentioned at the start of the season, I expected him to continue with his 55 point scoring ways, and his lowest score this year is 55. So if you do want a consistent center, someone who's likely to score well against his old team, we saw in round 26 against the Broncos, he had 110. So that is fun. I think a game earlier in the season where he did okay as well. Somewhere there. Maybe not. Oh well. But yeah, 110 against his old foe, his old friend. 56 price stat. It's expensive, but you just know what you're getting from him. Massive tackle breaks, massive meters, great tackles, and offloads for fun. You know, he's had almost Payne Haas level offloads with 11. So there you go. There you go. Thanks so much, guys. That's the buy, hold, sell, split into 3 parts. Go check it out. Podcast, YouTube, all the good stuff. I hope that helps with your trade thoughts. Yes, up and downs are there. These mid-ranges, you can go 2 mid-ranges up and down. You need to work out if it fits your side. Some of these guys aren't actually sells, especially, you know, Cleary, Watson, Ponga. They're not actually sells by any stretch, but some of you are locked in on getting Haas, and you can use one of them to get Payne Haas, especially with the higher break-evens and yada, yada, yada. The cheapies are there. Lock and load with them. You should have all the information for this week now to make your own decisions. So use that. I'll be getting in and answering some private group questions and stuff. And if you want to be a part of that private crew, get your team analyzed, all that kind of stuff, information is in the description below. It's $35 for the whole season. Get amongst it. Really easy to get involved, and it's going to be a fun season. Bounce back week for a lot of us, especially those that don't have a lot of outs. But if you have a bunch of outs, try and hold steady. And then I think from round 5 onwards, it's going to be happy days. Good luck this week, team. We'll see you in the next one.